Choices made by individuals or the circumstances they encountered led them to committing a crime and landed them in the criminal justice system. The Ministry of Justice places great value on the impact of the personal experiences of inmates and former inmates. These are their stories.
What was your environment like growing up?
Well, let's see. I came from a big family. It was a bit of a struggle, really, but yeah, my mom tried. She did her best with us. It's about 4 of us. My mom has 4 of us, and yeah, she just taught us basically to live life, just live life, and the sky is your limit and reach for it, and to always be honest, to always be honest in life, and to always have respect for your elders, for everyone, as a matter of fact, because it takes you a long way in life. So, yeah, I've grown up with those aspects, and that's taken me very far in life. So, yeah, growing up was really nice for me.
Yeah.
It was.
Prior to your incarceration, how was life like?
Wonderful. It was wonderful. Wow. I was so busy out there. I was so busy. I was taking care of my dad at one point, taking care of his business, also taking care of my mom, and trying to get some classes done. So I was pretty busy. It was really hectic for me.
At what age were you incarcerated?
Wow. It's so funny that you asked that question, because yeah, Jesus Christ got from 30 to 33, and I got locked up exactly at 33. Interesting, huh?
Yep. How long have you been incarcerated?
7 years right now.
What is at least one thing you wish you would have known before you were incarcerated?
Wow. Patience, because I had to learn that while incarcerated. I had absolutely no patience at all, none. And throughout the 7 years, I've grown, I've changed. I have a lot of patience, a lot, absolutely. And I'm so grateful. I thank God every day. So I wish that I've had that before I was incarcerated.
What was your state of mind when the incident occurred? When the incident that happened, when it occurred, what state of mind were you in?
Confused, very much confused. Sad, angry, but I realized that that was not going to help me. So I had to just throw all of that in the back of my mind and focus on justice, focus on doing the right thing, because at that time it can go, a lot of things can happen. You have anger, you're filled with anger, you're hurt, you have pain, and you can blast out, which at one point I thought about, but then I decided that's not going to help me. That's not going to make the best of the situation at this moment. So I basically calmed myself, and I decided to let go, but I had a hard time. I had a really hard time letting go. But I did. And as soon as I did that, everything became a little easier. It's not perfect, but it got a little easier. And I guess with time, as time goes by, it's going to get even better. I'm looking forward to that. Yes.
I'm really happy to hear that. Okay, so speaking of the mental state that you were in, how has it been adjusting to life incarcerated, mentally and physically?
Well, life is a learning process, you know, so every day I wake up and I give God thanks. That's the first thing I do. I give God thanks. And yeah, I just take it one step at a time, you know. I just take it one step. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm incarcerated, but I'm grateful to be alive. When I first got in, I was really sad. I was really hurt and angry and full of pain. So I just kind of kept to myself in a corner by myself, isolated. I didn't want to see anyone. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just wanted to be left alone, you know? And there were days when I would get up angry, and I didn't know why. I was just angry about everything and anyone. And I just didn't want to be around anyone at all. And I remember one day, an inmate said to me, well, why are you so angry? And I said, well, I don't know. And she said to me, well, you need to find out. You need to find out why you're angry and work on it. And I just picked up the Bible and I just opened it and I read. I read and I read and I read and I read. I read the whole entire Bible. And that kind of gave me a sense of peace. You know, not just inner peace within myself, but outer peace as well, my surroundings, you know? And then I can feel all the anger and all the resentment and all the hurt and the pain and everything just slowly coming out of me. Slowly coming out, and it's like a burden that's been lifted off of me. And so, yeah, I just took it one step at a time. I said, God, help me, please. You know, I put everything into your hands, at your feet, and I trust you that you're going to work for me. You're going to work miracles for me. So with that, I've just grown so much. But it was not easy, like I said. It was not. It was terrible. It was very terrible. It's a lesson learned in life. A lesson that I've learned in life. And I don't want to say that I have regrets, because I really don't. But I have more of gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I mean, it is so hard to explain, but I'm so grateful. I'm grateful. Like I said, it's not the best place to be, but I'm grateful. I've learned a lot being incarcerated, a whole lot. How to treat people, how to talk to people, how to interact with. I've learned so much that it's wonderful, and I'm looking so much more to learn. I've still got 4 more years, so I'm still looking forward to learn.
What has kept you going strong while incarcerated? Are you busy with different activities?
Well, first of all, I must say God. I put him before every and anything. He keeps me going. He's what wakes me up. He gives me life, and he just sustains me. And after that, then I must say the prison. Yes, the activities, you know. Yeah, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. You know, you could, when I first came in, I came in as I want to say a person that didn't understand life or didn't know much. And throughout the years, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. So, and I'm looking forward to learn a lot more, a whole lot more. Whatever it is that they're offering, I want it.
You want to learn?
Yes.
Do you work at HVB?
I do.
You do? What do you do?
I clean. And right now, like I said, I'm busy painting. So I'm sure you guys are gonna see it. It's wonderful. It's really wonderful. But that's my section. I clean. I clean the office and sometimes the area where we live. Yes. And it's not I can't speak for the other inmates, but it's for me, it's not about the money, but it's about something to do that's going to relax my mind, you know, that's going to tire me out, that when I'm finished, I had a hard day of working and my body's tired, and then when I go to bed, take a shower and go to bed, I'm like,
I know that feeling.
yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
What has been an important rule or lesson you learned while being incarcerated?
Listen. Listen. It's very important. I've learned that because I struggle with that a lot. You know? Like I said, sometimes I get angry or my patience kind of run out, and then I get emotional, and I don't listen. And that is a very important asset, because when you listen, you learn. But when you talk, you're so busy, you're so into yourself that you can't grasp what the other person is saying to you. So that's a very important aspect, that you listen. You learn a lot.
What have you learned about yourself since being incarcerated?
Wow. That I can be flexible. I didn't know that. I didn't know that before, but I've learned that I can be flexible, adjustable, and I didn't like that at all, because I was just a person that if I like things a particular way, that's how I want it, and that's it. No questions, no ifs, no buts, no nothing about it. And being incarcerated, I've adapted to that. I've adapted to change a lot, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's a whole different part. It's a whole different side, rather than opposed to just being one way, adjustment. It's wonderful. I've learned that about myself, and I like it. I really do. I like it.
Adjustment allows you to thrive in any kind of environment.
It does. It does. That's what I love about it, because I would just see something from one point of view, that way, and then, I would not be interested in the other sides or the other way, which is wrong, And I've learned that in the prison, and it's wonderful. It's like a coin. A coin has three sides, So, yeah, you can't just look at one side. You have to look at all the sides, the broader aspect of it, And I'm doing great. I love it. I love that. I found that out about myself, and I just love it.
Do you think incarceration serves any good purpose?
I do. I really do. Let me start off by saying first that I'm sure no one likes to be incarcerated, no one. I had a really hard time adjusting and being there and getting used to it. Like I said, I have 7 years. But the one good thing that I can say is that I've become a changed person, you know, and it's because of being incarcerated. I've learned so much from being incarcerated that I'm so grateful. And I don't want to take those things for granted anymore. You know, being impatient, just wanting to have things my way, you know, all these things. I've learned so much, I've grown so much that I'm so happy, you know, and I don't want to ever take it for granted again.
What inspires you, or who inspires you?
I want to say my pastor. He comes every Tuesday because the women's section have a visit on Tuesdays, and he comes every Tuesday to see me. And believe it or not, he's the only one that can kind of get me back on track. When I'm angry or I'm having a bad day or I'm sad or whatever, and he just comes and he sees me, it's like a burden lifted off my shoulder. He always tells me, you know, focus, and you know, your goal, your mission is to keep, he always says that to me, keep your eyes on that door. Don't you dare take your eyes off of that door, because that's your focus, that's your aim, that's your mission, to get out of here. And that throughout the years, that has took me so far, you know. And he always tells me, it doesn't, even though you're having a bad day, just smile. Just smile. And I find myself doing it, you know.
It changes your mood.
It does. I find myself doing it, and, you know, I'm so grateful for him. He inspires me a whole lot. He does. Yes.
What do you miss most about living outside?
My family. I miss my family so much. Apart from my family, I just miss time, I would say, time, you know, because I can't get that back. I can't. I've been incarcerated 7 years, you know, and I've missed so much. I have a nephew, a great nephew actually, my nephew's son, which is my great nephew, and he's 5 now, and I've missed that. You know, I wasn't there when he was born, so I miss time with my family and just being out there, and that is something you can never retract. You can't get that back. When you lose time, it's gone. You can't get it back. So we have to be very particular about how we choose to spend our time and with whom we spend our time.
What do you think pushes one towards a life of crime?
A lot of resentment, a lot of anger. I can speak based on my family. My brother, he's deceased now, may his soul rest in peace. I loved him so much. And he was full of anger. You know, he was so much full of anger that he would go out there and he would just start abusing people for no reason, absolutely no reason. Because at home, he didn't feel the love. He didn't have the love, and he didn't have the attention that he deserved. So the anger took a hold of him, and he just went out there and he lost it. You know, and it's so unfortunate that he lost his life. He was only 39 when he passed away, and he had no wife, no kids, no nothing. Just a life full of hate, a life full of misery, a life full of pain and sorrow. So it drives you to crime. It does. Apart from that, influence. That's a really dangerous thing, influence. You have to be careful of the influence and the company that you keep, because that definitely will drive you to crime. If you're not strong enough, it will drive you to crime. Yes.
Yep, agree. Do you have any future plans upon release?
I do. I do, yes. I can't wait to be out so I can go with my pastor and we can minister. You know, we can go knocking on the public's door and we could just share the gospel of salvation of Jesus Christ. I can't wait. Yes, I'm looking forward to that very much.
What advice would you give to those choosing a path of crime or those who are currently on the path of crime?
Stop. Think. Stop. Think before you react, and then make a decision. So stop, think before you react, and then make a decision. Because usually we don't do that. We just make the decision out of emotions. But if you stop and you think about it first, and then you make the decision, it's gonna kind of direct your path and put you on the right path. Like I said earlier, we need to be careful of the influence and the company that we keep, you know? And I want to say I've came in a person that didn't know anything, and now I'm so grateful. I'm leaving as a person that knows something. So I came in one way, and I'm leaving another way, and that's because I've learned so much being incarcerated. So anyone that's out there, whether they're old, young, or doesn't matter. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You lose too much. You lose time. You just lose precious time that you can't gain. You can't retract. You cannot get that back. You know, and that's one of the things that I'm trying to, adapt to right now. Because when I go out, I have to adjust to so much, the big changes that's out there, that's waiting out there for me, you know? So, I would tell anyone, it's not worth it. Crime, it's not worth it. It's not at all, because in the end, you're gonna be the loser. And who likes to lose? No one does, right? No one does. So, for the youngsters out there, I can tell them, stay focused, it's not easy, but try to make the best of it. It's not where you came from, but it's where you're going. You might have risen up. You might have came up. You could have been brought up in the gutter, but you don't have to stay in the gutters. You can rise above that, and you can have a bright future, and you could become the next minister, right? So it's not where you came from, but it's where you're going. So I just want to leave that message for the youngsters out there. Be careful. Be very much careful with the company and influence that you keep, and put God first, and everything will be well.
In an effort to protect the welfare and prosperity of the community of St. Martin, the Ministry of Justice strives to uphold and enforce public order, safety, security, and the law. In a bid to discourage the youth from choosing a path of crime, as Minister of Justice, I find it imperative for the various perspectives of crime to be shared. HVB Unscripted shall bring awareness of how choices directly and indirectly affect everyone.